the fuck wouldn't I? Yeah, we'll just get that. So, okay, the gimmick for the season's fucking amazing because you'll be going out, like, Linus took me through this last night. You'd be doing a bounty run, do like an Act 1 bounty run. In the middle of doing a bounty, you'll kill some guy on your way to your target, or maybe it is the target that you're there to kill, and a portal will open up. And you go into that portal, and it's a series of mini-maps. They're small maps. Some of them have a bunch of enemies. Some of them are all elites. Some of them are 3-act bosses. Some of them are just full of dobbies. But they're small maps, pretty dense, and you kill everything in there, and one of the things that you kill will open up another portal that'll take you to the next level. And this can keep on going. You can get like 10 levels deep. But at the very end, there will be a dobby, and just single dobby. And when you kill that dobby, a giant chest will spawn. And depending on what difficulty you're on, you'll get like 2, 5, 11 act mats of each map, of each act. So act 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all those mats, picture 11 of each of them opening that chest. So you get a shit ton of loot going down there, like just white, blue, and yellow mats. You'll get a ton of Death's Breath going through all those levels. You'll maybe find dobbies and just fucking blow the map up with loot. And then if you keep on going to the bottom, you're guaranteed to get act mats from all 5 acts.
The only issue that I have found is, and Doc pointed it out to me, is you have to be very careful because once you click the chest, you have 20 seconds to collect everything, go back to town.
Yeah, get the fuck out. And then it closes forever. So yeah, I did that. Linus was very, very helpful and explained that to me, and we went through the first one. I think it was like 7 levels or something, and we got to the end, and everything went flawlessly. The second one we got, I think, was like 10 levels deep, and I accidentally clicked on the chest at the end of that. We just lucked out because it was a tiny map, and there was not a lot to pick up. But yeah, that's the shtick. And obviously,
I will say this: it is super fun. I got a 13 leveler today and walked out. I've got like it is insane the number of mats I've got. I've got 1,700 reusable parts, 766 arcane dust. I've already got like 31, 28, 25, 28, and 25 of the bounty mats.
Yeah, for upgrading gear in the cube, this is probably the most friendly season yet.
And then the final chest of the portal run, it also grants greater rift keys. So I've got
any bosses
30
that you
greater
kill,
rift keys already.
Any bosses that you kill in those areas drop greater rift stones. That's also something. Yep.
Neat.
So it's great. Diablo 3 Season 29 is in a fucking fantastic spot.
And they're pick a class and rebirth someone and you power level. Man.
They're getting close to. Has Diablo Immortal already released the new class, the Hell Knight?
I don't know.
Whatever the fuck.
There it is. I found one.
You found one? Nice. Yep. I would love to get in there and play with you, but I have to produce.
There it is.
Oh, the other thing I was going to do, I was going to fucking open up Lost Ark, because I was telling Linus about this. Lost Ark seems to have a thing going for the past month, I guess. I thought they were just going to do it for a little while and get rid of it, but they didn't. You just open up your game and idle on the main screen for 90 minutes and you get 6 rewards. Some, like, 100,000 silver and Una's daily completion tasks and some card packs and other junk. Just for being there. So I'm going to open up Lost Ark and idle. Because I assume that my computer can do that while I'm broadcasting.
I'll be
doing all the stuff. Glorious. Oh, you got one! Nice.
The problem is I'm not at all leveled to handle all of this.
Yeah, that's my failing too. I need I need more god pieces.
They do them.
Okay. We do there. Monk is super fun. Monk is still super
Yeah,
fun.
I think I'm gonna do Tempest Rush Monk.
That is a fun time. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Steam wants to tell me all about Return to Monkey Island and Gas Station Simulator. No, thank you.
Excuse me, gas station simulator?
Yeah,
that
gas.
sounds like a fucking blast.
Yeah, I worked at a gas station. I'm done with that. But gas station simulator. If I remember, if it is the same game that I'm thinking of, then you basically have a gas station out in the middle of nowhere. You need to pump people's gas. You need to make the money so that you can upgrade your shop and you get like snacks and maybe open up a car wash or some shit. I don't know. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Single player game, single player simulator. Waste a little bit of time, do a little bit of stuff.
Right.
Oh,
Well,
good
that was
times.
only a 3-leveler.
Solamente tres.
Alright. I rebirthed my monk,
Which monk's name?
Mary Clarence.
Oh, that's nice.
Alright, so yeah, you got power level me.
Oh, I am level 32. 4.
What?
Sorry. Yeah, no, I started late. I did not start with Leetness. I think Doc and Leetness are the only two at level right now.
I'm
God damn it.
at level 70, but I only have 2 pieces of God set, and I'm a puss always, but especially pussied now.
I mean, what's the point? I'm not going to spend the duration of the podcast leveling up to level 20 solo.
Yeah, that's why we need Leetness here.
So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and quit Diablo now.
Ping Leetness constantly.
Could have just already been playing Avorion for like the last 10 minutes.
Let's see. So, yeah, I pinged Masami if she is. Yeah, okay. She's around. But anyway. Hello everybody. Welcome to Church of Chonkwij podcast. My name is Flip the Squid. I'm still DrNiggle, flipping the squid. Joined by old squiddy bastard, OmegaConstruct. Good shit. I should get everything set up. I usually have all this stuff ready to go. But I didn't because it's been a hectic day. Especially with, it's rainy.
You guys getting the rain that we got yesterday.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And it's not, it's fine. I mean, it's fine. It's good for everything, but it's not great for walking dogs and such.
Yeah.
It's also not great for being a mailman.
Oh, yeah.
I bet. Jesus
wet
Christ.
shoes, wet socks.
Luckily today I was actually able to keep my socks dry, which is
that's
really
a good thing.
It's really the hallmark of whether it's been a good day or a bad day in the rain.
Good. Wait. Oh, hey, nobody had to listen to the photosensitive seizure warning for Lost Ark, so that's nice. Photosensitive seizure warning. If you or anyone else in your family suffers from an epileptic condition, consult your physician prior to playing Lost Ark.
Is that seriously a thing? Like
usually it speaks to me whenever I launch Lost Ark, but I didn't do it this time for whatever reason. That's fine. All right, so that's on in the background. I'm idling in Lost Ark and can pick up rewards for doing essentially nothing. Thanks, Smilegate. But yeah, it's been a fantastic week for gaming. Not really.
Not for Diablo 4, but for everybody else, it's been great.
For Diablo 4, not for game developers. And, yeah.
God.
But for everybody else, it's fine. Yeah, we'll get to that. No, the first story we're starting off with is a little light, and I love it. Caffeinated RGB gamer noodles now exist. And, it's fucking fantastic. There's nothing...
Yeah, I was really excited when I found those.
That's great.
So they're making,
Caffeinated gamer noodles.
yeah, Nissan. Nissan Cup Noodles have decided to make custom RGB gamer noodles, and it's just their noodles that are colored however you like. It's
So-
RGB.
Question. You say they're caffeinated noodles. What is the caffeine content?
Oh wait, are they caffeinated noodles?
I thought you said they were caffeinated.
I mean, that's what the article is saying. When I was looking over, they say, yeah, they're going for it.
Yeah. Anything else? Caffeinated because, of course, they are. Let's see, caffeinated gamer and improved setup. No, it doesn't. It doesn't say specifically. I was using the search bar. It doesn't say specifically how much caffeine is in these. I would love for like some nutritional details on the back. That would be great. But you know, if you're gonna sell something to gamers, you need to put caffeine in it. I think that's just an unwritten rule, right?
Yeah.
And if you can combine RGB with caffeine, I mean, that's just winning.
Drink 24 5-hour energies and enter the forbidden hour of the day.
That's a lot of hours of energy.
Yes, it is. That is stopping your heart worth of energy.
Oh, delightful. But yeah, anyway, Diablo 3's had a great week. Season 29 is launched. I just explained the gimmick to Omega at the start of the show. But, fun times. Actually, I was. Had a blast playing with Leetness for a couple hours last night. Unfortunately, he's probably gone for the rest of the week, doing whatever. Isn't that right, Leetness?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know. But I'm sure we'll get around to playing Diablo 3 again.
Oh, absolutely.
I need, let's see. No, I need 4 more pieces of God Set. It doesn't matter what pieces they are, but I only have the 2 so far. And then I can start working on getting a Dawn. Oh, the Demon Hunter grind. I know it so well. Could also go Monk. Whatever, doesn't matter.
Monk.
Yeah, you
I
and
realize
Zero.
that I don't really do Demon Hunter like ever. I think it's because of how much you do Demon Hunter.
All right.
And I don't know. I never really fuck with Demon Hunter.
It is the reason that I go after it usually is because it is the best solo farming build that I'm so familiar with. I'd also recommend, yeah, Tempest Rush Monk is also really excellent for speed farming. But
yeah, that's what I think I'm gonna do. I've never actually done the Tempest Rush build before, so that'll be fun.
It's kind of a blast. It's obviously not, yeah, it's not up there. It's not S tier or anything, but it is super fast. And if you want to just do bounties, like around T16 bounties, you're gonna be in a fantastic spot.
Nice.
Right. Oh, so the other thing that was neat was Red Dead Redemption 3 has been officially confirmed by Rockstar. So Red Dead 3 is on its way in a couple of years.
I find it surprising, I guess, that they announced this while we're still in the midst of, all the hype and, theorizing about GTA 6. We're still not even over being excited that game's coming out. And now they're announcing. I just find that a little crazy.
I do have a thought on that. From our time playing Red Dead Online and coming off of GTA Online, I learned that the Red Dead community and the GTA community are very much separate. And the Red Dead community hates, or did for a period of time, hated the GTA community because Rockstar was giving GTA updates like Cayo Perico and drug runners and all the rest of that, and Red Dead was not getting the same love, not getting the same maintenance or bug fixes or anything, and that sort of instilled in my mind this concept that the two communities are separate, and the people that play Red Dead are not necessarily the same people that play GTA. So it could just be that Rockstar knows way more about that than I do, and so they're just being like, yeah, okay, so GTA news for all the GTA fans, Red Dead news for all the Red Dead fans. But I'm not sure.
I mean, maybe.
I theorize. That's all I do. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption 3 will come out. There is no release date for it yet. It was just announced at... Where the fuck was it announced? Doesn't matter. Red Dead Redemption 3 will cost $400 and require 10 terabytes of hard disk space. Haha, funny joke.
Wow.
There were another piece of fun internet garbage that's been going around these past couple weeks is that GTA 6 is going to cost a base price of $150, and it's going to require something like 750 gigabytes of hard drive space. These are rumors that were going around, and the people perpetuating the rumors are almost as funny as the gaming news sites that are trying to quash the rumors. And it's a fun back and forth. The important part is that none of that is official. It's all just rumors, and it's almost entirely bullshit. So, fun times.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Oh, of course. There's a chance that Rockstar will have. I mean, hey, if Starfield, what's Starfield's base price? Like $80 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, if Todd Howard can do it, then whatever fuckstick is running Rockstar can definitely do it.
Todd Howard. Dude's a fucking meme.
Todd Howard. Yeah, Starfield's been getting a little bit of hate online, but
If your game, if you don't feel that the game is optimized, maybe you just need to upgrade your computer.
yeah, Todd really didn't
Really?
help. He really didn't help the criticism, but it's a small base of people that are criticizing Starfield. A lot of people have actually bought it and are playing through it and streaming it on Twitch, and they really love it. Despite the fact that you can't actually land on Pluto. We learned that a couple weeks ago. It's just
Not a planet.
yeah, it's just it's a voxel with no boundary box, so you can just fly right through it. It's great. More voxels, please. Pass the voxels, please. I miss Sid. Sid's also playing D3 with Toad and Griddles and everybody, so we should get... we should play with them again. They're a hoot. They're always great.
You play with your favorite person, Doc. Okay,
it took me a minute. It took me a minute.
Yeah.
You asshole. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I was about to say I'm about ready to get kicked out of this stream.
I haven't heard anything from him in years. I want to say I haven't even noticed him on Discord. I'm not sure if he's still gaming at all. That's yeah. But all right. So anyway, I want to quickly switch over to Meow. And I want to ask Omega is this the new Avorian update?
I mean, there's not like a new update. I'm just playing it again.
Okay. I saw on my stream or on my Steam news that Avorian is gonna get an update this year.
Yeah, I saw something to that effect. I'm not sure what exactly they are planning. But they did basically say like the game is still alive. We're gonna keep supporting it for at least a little bit. So yeah, that's cool. I know it's made by a really small studio, and I doubt anybody's really heard of them that might be watching. But regardless, fun game that I do enjoy going back to every once in a while. And probably my fourth or fifth time coming back to it over the years and playing it again. And it is nice having seen what little changes have been made. Honestly, though, there are a couple of DLCs that I haven't even bought yet. So at some point, I'm going to buy those and have a completely new experience all over again.
So Vorian, I think, in my opinion, Vorian's a really fantastic example of a solid game that I have really never experienced. I don't think I've ever experienced a bug in that game. I've never had a crash to desktop. I've never gotten stuck somewhere. I've never had a problem running the game. It is stable, and it has really solid fundamentals on it, especially in terms of economy and honestly just replayability. Because you have a whole galaxy full of sectors, and you have a lot of stuff to do.
That's really what it is. That's what it really is for me, is just the sheer amount. I mean, every single
one.
grid, every one of these grids is made up of, this many grids that are then made up of this many grids. And every single one of these grids is a different place where things can happen. I mean, sure, there is empty space out there, but even in empty space, you can do all kinds of shit. Like I usually pick empty space to build my sectors. No asteroids, no other. Sometimes I have like some of the stations that I have. No, there, but where am I staying? Got a couple stations up here, and they're in friendly territory. That's nice to do when you don't want to worry about actually having to defend them. Because if pirates show up, then your allies will absolutely kick their shit in. But one day when you get to the point where you want to set up your headquarters sector, and you can find a nice chunk of empty space, do that wherever you want. But each of these little green blinky dots is a place that I can go find more space stations. I can go find more asteroids. I got missions everywhere. This game is incredible in the breadth of what you can do.
Yeah, so you can have a thriving. Wow. Wait for it.
There it is.
Just gonna turn that down for a moment. Yeah, you can have a thriving economy, and you can mine raw resources and you can sell those, or you can turn raw resources into products and you can sell those products, or you can combine those products and turn them into more advanced products and sell those. So you can have a whole like trading setup.
You can make entire production chains.
Right. And you can rake in cash and resources, and it's fucking fantastic. Or if you want to be a warlord, you can just build a fleet of ships. you can go the murder hobo route. You can just kill everybody, loot everything that you can, build more impressive ships. You can build a fleet. Oh, that's what I wanted to get onto. The AI in this game is actually kind of fantastic in terms of how you can order a fleet to follow you or escort you. Or you can order patrols in your sector, or you can order freighters to take something from one station and transfer it to another station. It's another thing that I've never really had a problem with in this game. So it's great. It's very well designed, however they did it.
Yeah, I mean, it has its weaknesses. The more you play it, you begin to find them, but part of the game is also, you know how it is. Part of the game is figuring out how to mitigate those problems.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Work around them.
Yeah, there's certain ways that you need to build docking ports, I found, in order to make freighters not accidentally crash into things. They're not as great.
There's also certain mods you need to get that will greatly improve that experience as well.
That is another good point. There's an excellent modding community behind this. Is Moddable Games, Steam Workshop. Yeah, Steam Workshop, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It is an incredibly moddable game. It's very great when it comes to that.
How old is Avorian now?
Oh, I mean, I bet it first came out probably 8 years ago.
Because Yeah, it's long enough ago that you and I have done a multiplayer game in it for a little while, and then I did my own playthrough where I was just basically dicking around building ships.
Like, I'm pretty sure it came out when we were still actively playing Space Engine.
Yes, you're right. I do remember that. Because it was our multiplayer game took place during one of the periods where we were tremendously pissed off at Space Engineers for its built-in limitations. Which happen frequently. Yeah, Fluffy likes to talk about how PoE is an abusive game. Space Engineers, I would say, is on par with that. Here's a wonderful sandbox environment where you should be able to do anything except, and then all
the
the
game was
list.
just awful.
They're still going though. Space Engineers put out a new DLC, I think, like last week. Just part of the.
But their DLCs are pretty crap. They're
modding. They're mods.
They have a couple mod quality parts that actually do things and might do something new, but they're no better than stuff that's on the workshop.
Remember how you and I...
It's a bunch of cosmetic bullshit. They just
Yeah.
sell cosmetics, basically.
Remember how you and I, you introduced me to the mod that was a conveyor port, but it had a hinge on it, and we were using that mod for our playthroughs for probably 2 or 3 years, and then Keen came out with an update and made it vanilla. It's like, yeah, it's great that it's a vanilla asset now, but yeah, most of the stuff that comes out in their DLC packs, if it's not just purely cosmetic, it's an idea from a modder in the community. So I think we've talked about that before. I don't know how they're doing that, if they need to license anything, but I really hope that the mod creators are getting some credit.
From what I remember of the quote-unquote politics around that back in the day, those guys ended up becoming pretty close with Keen in that kind of sense. So like they did, it was with their consent and help that those things were introduced to the main game.
Oh, that's good.
Keen wasn't just like ripping people off.
Right. Well, okay. So just going to go back quickly to Diablo 3 because our next article has to do with Diablo 4. So this grabbed attention. There was a Diablo 4 event in Korea that ended up having a dismal turnout. Basically, I think a bunch of pro gamers were getting together to do speedruns, PvP, just everything under the sun. And it was going to be a big publicized streamed event, and some streamers actually did show up, but the auditorium that was built for, I don't know, a couple hundred, if not 1,000 people, ended up having a very low attendance, as in like between 30 and 100 people who were not part of the event showed up. So that
is bad.
It's Korea, where ActiBliz has a huge following, and they thought that it was going to be much more popular than it was. So the reason I started off by saying this grabbed a lot of attention, I went looking for other news of Diablo events to see if this was like a one-off, and this was just the one this was the squeaky wheel. Unfortunately, not a lot of people are covering Diablo live events at all. So I wasn't really able to get any detailed information about other live events that ActiBliz has done for Diablo 4 to see if this is something that is systemic or just, this was the one that got the attention. But it's, either way, it's unfortunate.
So it has been noted by several streamers who stream major ActiBliz games. Riker, fucking Asmongold, that the viewership numbers for Diablo 4 on Twitch have dropped by 90% since the game's launch.
Yeah, this article actually speaks to that. It's the quote is Diablo 4's viewership on Twitch dropped overall by 99%. This month as compared to launch, and the release of exciting titles such as Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield certainly didn't help the game keep its numbers. So yeah, I have noticed that there are a lot of people. Is Riker doing Baldur's Gate 3?
I don't know. I need to
I don't know
check
either.
because I've fallen in love with that man.
He's got
Riker?
yeah. Riker's a old school Diablo streamer.
Yeah, I like Riker. I'm not a big fan of Asmongold.
Asmongold can kick rocks for all I care.
Nobody's.
He's so my issue with Asmongold, and it's that he latches on
you
to
can just call
whatever
him-
the popular opinion is.
Yeah, you can just call him Eric.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. He loves, just latching on to whatever the flavor of the week is. And his opinion changes so frequently that it's hard to tell what his actual opinion is.
But it's not even just that. It's just his whole like shtick is he's just trying so hard to be just so fucking edgy and always yelling and screaming. I don't know. I just find him very tiring.
I think that's one of the reasons why he's so popular is because he's approachable. You can't be a wicked smart streamer. You just can't. It turns people off and they don't want to watch you. But if you're just stupid enough to, not have your own opinions formulated and you can latch on to everybody else's, but you're smart enough to know how to stream and how to engage your audience, then you fit into that perfect little niche, and I think that's where he's at.
Is that my problem? Am I too smart? Oh God, that's it.
Is that the one?
Christ, thank you, Doc. You know what? We're going to
It's-
go with that. It makes me feel good.
It's entirely possible. Yeah, you'd be more popular if you were more dumber.
That's it. I'm switching to Warhammer 40K and I'm going to be dumb.
How dare you? No, WoW is the perfect area for that. 40K gets you no love whatsoever. Luton is a goddamn exception. I don't know why Luton's so fucking popular, actually. I think it's probably the accent.
He does have very sultry accent.
He's one of those halfway British people where he could tell you that rubbing bees in your wound will cure you, and you'd believe him.
Wait, it doesn't? No.
Oh my god, that was such a dumb Simpsons episode. Bart meets a British kid, and the British kid keeps on telling him to do stuff, and Bart keeps believing him because he's got a British accent. Oh, that was great. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's just...
So,
Diablo...
Yeah, Diablo...
Blizzard has done themselves no favors at all with any of the publicity or the game itself. They've done themselves no favors.
But that's what was so fucking weird is that the reception of it was overwhelmingly positive. Like, we really enjoyed the first week that I played D4. I was like, yeah, okay, you know what? The story, I was really into the story to see what they had going. And then I got to the end of the story, and I was like, okay, well, I guess it's repetitive content, and yeah, and I've been speculating ever since that they're going to get around to endgame stuff later, and I'll come back to the game later. But that's the sad part.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they're doing, but the end result is what appears to be a massive fumbling of the bag situation, where they had such amazing momentum and hype and attention when they launched, and I mean, I was fully on board. Like, I thought it was great. It was amazing, but they just didn't give it content.
And meanwhile, Diablo 3 Season 29 is coming out with a new shtick, a new gimmick, and all this. I hesitate to say that it's like the seasonal gimmicks that are bringing back all the Diablo 3 players, because I know that there is a sense of the familiar. Like, I hop back in this game, and I know what to do. And so there's not that aspect of it that Diablo 4 definitely has, where I was exploring, hey, all this new stuff, seeing how all these new things work together. But you can't deny Diablo 3 or the Season 29 numbers coming out at least indicate that there are more people excited about playing Season 29 than there are about jumping back into Diablo 4. That's just because of the content.
I honestly, I think what's kind of hilarious. I bet the flop of D3 or D4 Season 1 is propelling more people. D4 Season 1's failures is propelling more people to D3 Season 29.
I could believe that. Just because
it's
the gimmick in Season
Diablo
3
content
here.
That's new.
Yeah. The gimmick in Season 29 of Diablo 3 here is it's great. Especially for people starting off new characters. By the way, nobody in Diablo 3 for Season 29 is complaining about having to rebirth a character or start from level 0 again. Nobody is complaining about that. Probably because there are so many gimmicks in Diablo 3 that make it friendly for you to level up new characters.
Well, no, because Diablo 3 players by and large know the mechanics of the game, and it's not a bunch of fucking MMO players who are hopping on the hype train of Diablo 4 and pretending like they gave a shit and were, part of the Diablo fandom from the start. That's a whole different issue.
Yeah, also, yes.
It is.
That's just a bunch of posers who are, upset that a Diablo game was a Diablo game.
These are the people that were too young to play Diablo 3 at launch, and now they're jumping on the popularity wagon that is the Diablo franchise. That's a depressing thought, but it's probably accurate.
Rebirthing characters, starting from 0 in a season is literally the entire gameplay loop of Diablo games.
Yep. And grinding for gear, getting that delicious gear, and rolling your gear, leveling up your gems.
Gambling at that bitch Kadala.
Gambling with that bitch! She stole my blood shards.
Gambling with her is so much more satisfying
Than Obols. Oh my
than
god.
fucking spending obols. I don't know why, and it doesn't really make sense, but it is so much more fucking satisfying.
I would guess, I'm just going to guess it's because you get blood shards by doing endgame content, and you get a lot of them for the increased difficulty of endgame content. So you're doing if you're speed running GR90s, you're full up on blood shards after 2 runs, maybe 3. And you can just spam buy from Kadala, and then whatever you do again, you can break down. And you have useful resources that you can use in the cube or whatever.
I mean, it's kind of the same with ovals. I don't even mean though the process of collecting them, because I actually rather enjoy Diablo 4's open world little event things where you get your ovals, whatever those things are called, the encounters. I enjoy those quite a bit. I think it's something to do with just, I don't know, I just don't like the gambling people. You know what I really hate? I think the thing that annoys me the most is just how far away everything is in cities now.
Oh yeah, that was my original complaint when I saw that. I was like, yeah, okay, I guess everything bad in Warframe I blame on Steve. Everything bad in Diablo I blame on Chris Metzen. So I'm gonna bet that Chris Metzen was just like, we're gonna have merchants spread out all over the town. We're gonna make people walk places because it's more realistic to have everybody have their own shop and go from place to place. It'll be a really immersive experience. And just no, it's go to Act 1 of Diablo 3. That's the perfect setup right there. Everything nearby. Everything within access, within arm's reach of you. No problem.
Yeah. My one complaint with Diablo 4 is nothing to do with the actual gameplay. It's the fact that I think they have leaned too far into the MMOification of a Diablo game. That's, I think, going to be my opinion on the cities.
So, one of the other reasons. Sorry, just real quick. One of the other reasons for that was in D2, in those not necessarily in Act 1, but definitely in Loot Ghislaine, you do have merchants spread out, and so you are running around there. But that was Diablo 2. Diablo 3 learned from what players didn't really enjoy about Diablo 2. And one of the things that players didn't enjoy about Diablo 2 was having to run all around a city to, I don't know, get a hireling and then break down your gear and then go to your stash and all the rest of that. So in Diablo 3, they condensed all that stuff. They made the town areas much more small and much more accessible. So yeah, Diablo 4 seems like it took a step backwards. It took a step in the wrong direction for a lot of stuff in trying to pay homage to Diablo 2. And I get it, Diablo 2 is fantastic, and there's a lot of stuff in Diablo 2 that you could apply to a brand new Diablo game, and it would be great, but there's other stuff there that didn't exist in Diablo 3 because players didn't like it in Diablo 2. So, sorry, go ahead, Zero.
And you guys know, I mean, I'm an MMO fiend. I played Warcraft since vanilla, and the thing is like I get the MMOification of Diablo. I can kind of feel it, but even getting 100+ hours into that game, it still does not feel like an MMO. Yes, there are other players in the game, but if I don't, the content doesn't force me to play with those other players. In Warcraft, you are forced to play with other players to get content done. You can't just solo.
Yeah, how many people in Diablo 4 do you think can solo a world boss?
None. Zero.
No, that's not true. There are definitely people who are.
Yeah, I mean, there have got to be some tryhards that are doing that, but I don't imagine that applies to the average player. So yeah, I get what you're saying, Zero. There's not enough MMO content in Diablo 4 for it to be really considered an MMO. Yeah. And the problem right now, the dwindling player base, that was in one of the articles that we just covered, is that there are a lot of people who are reporting that there are just not enough people showing up to do world bosses. Because yeah, so you have content in the game that is no longer accessible to a lot of people. Not all, just some, because not enough people playing. So it's a tricky situation that ActiBliz has gotten themselves into. And
well, if they had just kept up, if they have just kept the hype going, and not fucked up by nerfing everything into the ground.
There was that one patch. There was the one nerf patch, and then I shouldn't talk about it.
I don't blame that patch though.
Right? Yeah, that's a balancing act.
I think that patch was a needed correction. That was the right thing for them to do. The unfortunate player reaction, damn.
Right.
But since then they've definitely failed in a lot of other ways.
I'm more inclined to blame the lack of content, endgame content specifically, and the lack of MMO mechanics. I really, you're putting out. Aren't daily tasks just a standard part of every MMO? I can't speak to Warcraft, but geez, fuck, even Warframe has dailies.
Well, and the one thing that's the one thing that I think Diablo 4 is missing when it comes to the MMO. Yes, okay, they have daily tasks, but even those daily tasks don't feel like daily tasks. It just feels like busy work. And with with Warcraft, yes, you have dailies to do, but it's like faction dailies. And those dailies change. You can select a different faction to do dailies with every day if you choose to do that. And I think that's what Diablo 4 needs. Diablo 4 needs factions. You need to be able to, okay, let's say, have like a branch. So at the end of the story, there's a branch. You choose to stay with the Church of Light, or you become a heretic. One of the two. And then
that would be neat.
And have a branch. And then when it comes to PvP, the PvP aspect of it, you can only injure players of the other party. of the other faction.
So you're talking about like
And-
Alliance versus Horde.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
And
Well,
it
you-
needs
I mean-
something like that.
You're basically just describing Diablo Immortal.
I think there are a lot of mechanics in Diablo Immortal that Diablo 4 could have benefited from. I can't believe I'm actually saying that, but
No, I mean,
You
I've
showed
been
me
saying
enough
that
of
for
it.
a while now. Yeah, I've been saying that pretty much nonstop. You know, the shame of Diablo Immortal is not anything other than the pay to win. You know, the actual game and the support that they have for it and the work that they constantly are putting into it and the updates, like, that is a great fucking game.
So here's the thing for Zero, for your idea, not necessarily for like, you know, a Horde versus Alliance or anything like that, but okay, Diablo 4 has already borrowed a whole bunch of stuff from Lost Ark, borrowed, ripped off, whatever, doesn't matter. In Lost Ark, there for clans, for things that people are part of. Diablo 4 already has clans. Diablo 3 had clans. It's nothing new. But in Lost Ark, with your clans, you have a clan leader and you can assign tasks for the week. You can do tasks for the clan and you can get rewards for it. So just add in daily shit for the existing clans in Diablo 4. Add in daily tasks. Add in a way to rank up your clan, like a level system or something. There's already a system there that you could use.
Okay. So let's switch to another MMO style game that I play. Destiny 2 has that exact thing in it within your clan.
That'd be great.
You have
In Diablo 4.
every season you have an experience bar, and everything that you do in the game provides a little bit of experience that goes into that clan experience bar. And then as that clan experience bar goes up, every level that you get up to 6th level, you get there are only 6 levels and you can only get a certain amount of XP per week. And that once you get to 6, like you get the bonuses are like extra engrams or extra gear when doing specific activities or things like that. That would be something that would be kind of neat for Diablo 4 to have.
Can you imagine having a guild mechanic like that where you've leveled up to a certain point and you unlocked research and you've done the research, and so when you go and you're trying to hunt for a specific piece of gear off a monster, you have an increased chance of having it drop? Like, that'd be great.
Oh, wait, they have that in WoW.
Right. See, this is what blows my mind. These are not new. We're not talking about anything revolutionary here. These are not brand new spanking ideas. No, this is stuff that Blizzard fucking knows about because they're in some of their other titles. They didn't put it in Diablo 4. I'm curious as to why, and I hope that somebody else is asking that question now that the player base is dropping off.
Yeah, I mean, this has always been my biggest confusion with Diablo 4, and I mean, it is not just us that is asking this or just saying this. There have been many people who have pointed out, like, guys, you have all the ingredients for exactly what people want right now. Why are you not providing it?
Can you imagine if they actually put out all that stuff this month, and then next month some of their stockholders came to them and were like, okay, so what are your next ideas to release all this content and everything? And they had nothing, and they actually had to think about it, and they actually had to do work.
I mean, it's just like, guys, this is game development, not rocket science. I appreciate that you are trying to make a great game, but like, don't fucking fumble the ball when you got basically everyone just like telling you what they want. Just like, listen to people, listen to your fans, listen to your players. Give us what we want, and really, if anything, you know, I start to wonder if this is all just more of the mentality that, you know, we own the game, it's our game, we know better than you what is, you know, basically the Warframe problem. Steve.
Yeah, the Steve model that's born of, I have access to the big picture, you don't, so you couldn't possibly know what's, you know, good for the game.
Yeah, you can't possibly understand the complexities of our game.
Yeah, and we're not going to share them with you because those are, you know, trade secrets, and we don't want to spoil any of the content that's coming out in the future. So just trust us. and then Railjack
Trust is
flops.
something. Trust is something that is running thin in most territories nowadays.
Yeah, well, for demonstrable reasons. Yeah, that was really sad because Railjack, I fucking love Railjack. I loved that system when it came out. It was pretty janky. They did some improvements of it, and there are still bugs that have existed since day one in that system, and they really haven't gotten around to it. But otherwise, I think Railjack had tremendous potential when it launched, and it sort of fizzled. I think the same. I don't know if the same thing is happening with Duvari Paradox. I haven't been playing that content, and I'm not sure how many people have been. But yeah,
I find that surprising. I thought that stuff was doing pretty well. I heard. I don't know.
I don't know if it is. That's the problem. I haven't. Whenever I've jumped into Duvari, I haven't seen a lot of people in the public area or the lobbies.
Gotcha.
But that could just be, me picking bad instances. But yeah. Anyway, I think we're all really hoping that Diablo 4 gets better, adds some fucking content. It doesn't have to be brand spanking new. As I said, we haven't talked about anything revolutionary here. This is all the known mechanics that work.
It doesn't have to be mind-blowing. It just doesn't.
It just has to be fun.
The core of the game is great. Like, yeah, there are some mechanical things that are still getting worked on. I mean, and credit where credit's due, that's the one thing they seem to be at least paying some attention to is, fixing some actual mechanical stuff that's broken. But in terms of, like, the game design and gameplay, just give us what we're asking for. Give us quality of life updates. Give us fucking end game content, and give us matchmaking, and give us co-op content beyond just fucking running rifts over and over again.
Maybe add in a mechanic with the random butcher spawns, where every time he kills you, it gets slightly easier to kill him next time. Something like that.
Well, it's his level scales off of the difficulty of the. I thought at least it scales off the difficulty of the dungeon that you're doing. So if you're doing, if you're pushing a dungeon that's, 20, 30 levels above your player level, you can clear the trash, but he rolls up and he just kicks your shit in.
Yeah. Again, reminded in Warframe of the Nemesis system that they wanted to add in, aptly taken from the title at least aptly taken from a different game. But yeah, and they just decided after a while they decided just not to fucking do it that way, and we came out with the Kuva Lich system instead. And the Kuva Lich system also got balanced after launch because that was another instance of you could, depending on what damage your Lich rolled, what resistances, and what weapon, and what % damage on that weapon, you were looking early on in that system, you were looking at Liches that could just kick in your shit, like super fucking easy, and it wasn't working.
I remember the first time I played and did a Lich with you guys. The first thing that was said to me, and I will never forget it because Omega said it, it was, "Don't move. Stay where you are. You will get killed immediately." And I moved 1 foot forward and died.
Yep.
And was like, huh, okay.
Yep.
And that was exactly what you said. I told you, don't move. I have not played that game in forever.
It's still got some fun stuff in it. Okay, so not the last thing that we're talking about, but the biggest news this week was Unity's new per install price. And Unity, the game engine, has, I should say their CEO has made some unfortunate announcements this past week. So September 13th, the news broke that Unity is going to change their pricing model. They are going to start charging developers a fee of up to 20 cents per install after the developer has reached a certain amount of money on the game that we're talking about. So I think for small developers, it's like, or for larger developers, oh, sorry, it's different tiers. So there are different tiers that developers can buy to have access to Unity assets and the Unity engine, basically. So there's a personal tier, and the personal tier will be charged 20 cents per install after an individual game reaches $200,000 in annual revenue and $200,000 of lifetime installs. So both. There are also pro tiers and enterprise tiers where the fee would be slightly smaller, of up to $0.125 or 12.5 cents or 15 cents after a game reaches $1 million in annual anal revenue and 1 million total installs. So yeah, this per install scheme did really not go over well with the game development community. A lot of smaller indie dev studios which use Unity to great extent have basically said that they are pausing development on any games that use the Unity system until they can port those games over to a new engine, because they straight up don't want to pay, or they just can't afford per install fee.
Developers have been even doing a more active measure of protesting than that. A lot of developers have been turning off the in-game Unity ad services.
Yep, there's a Unity
one
boycott.
One of the things that Unity offers to its developers, in addition to all the game making tools, is they can add basically a thing where you can let them serve ads to your players for you, and of course they take a modest cut, as you would expect in such a situation. But so a lot of developers have turned those off in their games, so they're not making ad money, but neither is Unity. And actually, one of the later developments is I don't know if I shared this one. Did I share about the CEO of the other ad company?
Apple of them?
Yeah, okay, so I did share that.
Yep, Adam Forgo. Forgy. I don't know. Foroghi. Adam Foroghi has stepped into the Unity fervor with an open letter to John whatever. He says that Unity should abandon its proposed runtime fee policy as it risks tearing our industry apart. That's the quote from the article. But yes, yeah, the amount of pushback on this has been severe, and this is just in the past 5 days.
Well, you want to know what I find most interesting is one of the, developments that I saw was that apparently, like with the AppLovin connection, this may have all just been an effort by Unity to shut that company and other third-party ad services out of Unity, because apparently it seems that Unity was offering some developers to entirely waive that fee that this whole furor was started about if they switch to Unity's ad service providing functionality instead of this third-party one. So, there's it's legitimately looking like this might have all just been an attempt by Unity to shut out a competitor in the advertising space, and it's coming back to bite them in the ass pretty good.
So I can totally believe that was one aspect, or that was one perhaps predictable result that went into this decision. But I'll add to that and just talk a little bit about John Rossettillo, who's the CEO of Unity, who came out and announced this, is the name behind this unpopular decision. John is a former EA CEO, and he has been quoted multiple times basically praising the microtransaction economy of mobile gaming. He thinks that paying at one point when he was working for EA, he proposed a scheme where after a while, in games like COD, players would be charged 10 cents to reload their weapon. Start pay per shot was, I believe, the scheme name. And the quote where he explained this, to sum it up, was basically, yeah, after 6 hours of playing COD or whatever, multiplayer and everything like that, and you're all out of bullets, and this thing shows up that says, here, pay 10 cents for another X number of rounds, players are going to be much less opposed to that, 6 hours in, when they're in the heat of the grind. And so this is a really excellent way for us to make money. That scheme fell apart and never materialized, but that's an example of some of the one of the ideas that he has publicly put out there. He is notorious for wanting to find ways to monetize games in ways that just sound predatory as hell to me. So he definitely is a fan of this sort of pay per action type thing. So I don't imagine that being the CEO of a studio, he is a terribly stupid person. So if he could get away with this, he would love that. If he can't get away with it, I can see how what you're talking about, Omega, would come into play. Basically setting up some sort of scenario where no matter what happens, it's air quotes win-win for Unity.
All I'm gonna say is that idea. It is probably the best thing that could have never came to fruition, because yeah, sure. Anybody who says that 6 hours into a COD bro playing COD would start to pay 10 cent for a magazine has lost their effing mind. They would quit and not play. They would literally just uninstall the game. There are some that might.
Yeah, I really hope that you're right. I'd really like to believe that that's true. But the sad thing is he might have a point. It's still predatory as fuck, but
you gotta drink another Mountain Dew to keep playing. You know the rules.
That's right. Chug more Mountain Dew.
Eat another bag of Doritos.
Hashtag Mountain Dew, hashtag Doritos. Jesus Christ. Does anybody actually remember playing games, eating Doritos and drinking Mountain Dew? Because I do. I'm that old.
Yes. 100%. In fact, when Halo, or no, it wasn't Halo, it was in Warcraft, and I'm not even shitting you. They had in-game battle bots that you could get. And there were codes on 2 different flavors of Mountain Dew. And it was red and blue. Oh God. Warcraft Mountain Dew. Oh my God, it's like the top search. Choose your side, Wiki World of Warcraft. It was 2 different flavors. The flavors were it was a citrus cherry flavor and a wild fruit flavor. So red and blue, Horde and Alliance, but the codes gave you an in-game fuel for the pet that you could use to fight the pets in an arena. And I swear they got so much of my money when this happened. This was in 2009. So it was back when I was dumb enough to not know any better, and I was drinking Mountain Dew like it was going out of style.
I remember in like 10th or 11th grade going over to I had a gaming friend. Oh, Maggie, you know him because we played some of his shit, Double I, when he was putting out content for Stepmania. I went over to his house and he was just like, bro, you gotta check out, there's brand new stuff, you gotta drink this, and he hands me a can of Monster Energy drink.
Oh God.
I'm that old.
Oh,
Chugging Monster Energy drink at 11 p.m. in high school so that we
remember
could
when they
stay up.
first came out? When they first came out with 5-hour energies, I was working in Richmond, Virginia, and driving there on Sunday mornings. I drank 2 of those and proceeded not to sleep for 15 hours.
Yeah.
It
That sounds like something we
it
did
was
when we were young.
it was rough. It was rough.
There's a couple times Doc and I pulled all nighters with a bunch of energy drinks.
You're right. I actually still have a picture of that up on the
The tower.
the Forbidden Journal. I have still a picture of the Monster Energy drink tower. Why the fuck were we staying up all night? It was to write papers, wasn't it?
No, I think that one was just for fun.
Okay. Because there was definitely one night when we were sophomore year in Lyon Hall. There was definitely one night where I stayed up all night writing 2 final papers that I probably didn't get great grades. No, I did. One of them was for Music History 3, and I got an A on that. I don't know how.
I don't think that was that one.
Might not have been that one. It all blurs together. You know, we did a lot of drugs.
Yeah, it did. That was all blurred together, for sure.
So the thing is, yeah, huge backlash in the development community. And, oh, Omega, yeah, here, I'm sorry, I just found the article that you were talking about. So Unity is offering a runtime fee waiver if you switch to level play, as it tries to kill App 11. So yeah, level play is... let's see, studios currently using level play mediation platform have already been offered a 100% runtime fee waiver. And Unity account managers are also telling developers not using level play that if they switch over from main rival AppLovin or any other UA platform, they can unlock a runtime fee waiver between 80 and 100%.
See, that's pretty scummy to me. I'm not really on board with that kind of shit.
No, yeah, this is fucking scum. But I bet that Unity is gonna somehow figure out a way to turn a profit off of this, which is shitty because it just means that indie developers are going to be switching over to the Unreal Engine, which is fine. Unreal's got a perfectly good engine on it. But a lot of Unity games, or a lot of small indie studios, are going to have to put in a lot of work to switch over engines so that they don't have to deal with this shit. So these are scumbag mechanics being used by Unity.
What was the big game? God, what was it? Was it Cult of the Lamb? That was like one of the big ones that said that they were gonna...
Yeah, they're gonna
stop
their game.
Yeah, they're gonna stop all development and port over. If they could.
No, I don't think it was... is that what they said? I thought they just full on said, like, yeah, we're just gonna take our game off.
Oh, I didn't read that. I'll look for it.
Ugh. Yeah, it's awful. It's a bunch of bullshit, and it's only gonna get worse. That's the problem.
Yeah, you're right. Just pulled the article from GameRant. Cult of the Lamb devs threatened to delete game on January 1st. So if Unity goes forward with these changes, yeah, I guess they're not going to port over. They're just going to withdraw the game from sale.
So I need to buy that game soon.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
Like,
or get a seaworthy vessel after January 1st.
No thanks. I much prefer my feet remained on solid ground. Thank you.
Oh, but the high seas are where all the rum is.
Well, there's plenty of rum at the ABC store up the street. Technically, I shouldn't be having rum anyway because of diabetes.
The ABC store.
Had the greatest cocktail ever the other day. And it was
at the French restaurant?
No, this is actually at Margaritaville.
Oh.
Yeah, I suppose I should say Letus and I hung out on Wednesday. Wednesday? No. Someday, Thursday. We,
gentle tip touching.
He was in the city. He came to the city. He and Jack came to New York. Steph and I met him, had some drinks, went to a nice dinner, had some more drinks. It was quite delightful. But I had a bar, or at the bar that, in one of the bars in the hotel that he was at, Margaritaville, the resort in Times Square, they had a drink called the Pirate King.
Yes.
And it was some really good rum with a allspice liqueur, what was the other liqueur? Do you remember? Yes, banana. It was rum, banana, allspice, and it had like a dehydrated roasted pineapple garnish, and it was like straight liquor on the rocks, and it was the most delicious fucking thing I've ever drank. And I sucked those shit down like water, and I drank 2 of them in like no time flat, and they were amazing. So that's my recent rum story.
I will
I'm
say
gonna
this.
remember that.
I will say this. The wife and I, when we go down to Myrtle Beach for our anniversary every year, we eat at Margaritaville. And they have got some of the best drinks. Some of the best damn drinks I've ever had, if I'm being 100% honest. Jimmy Buffett got, rest in peace, my man. He put that entire drink menu together himself, and good Lord.
So I just got curious. I wanted to know if there was a cocktail called Captain Ron, and there was totally a cocktail called Captain Ron.
Oh, of course. I'd be shocked if there wasn't.
And it's an ounce of rum Barbancourt, 5-star, 1 ounce of rye whiskey, and let's see, a third an ounce of lemon juice, third ounce of falernum and grenadine, and garnish with ground cinnamon or a lemon twist, or both. I would try
Why
this.
not both? Both is good.
Yeah, both is good.
Sounds delightful.
Captain Ron is a fucking amazing movie.
It's one of my favorites. I made Steph watch it recently.
I've never seen it.
Omega, you're the reason why anybody in this group knows what Captain Ron is. Because I had no idea that movie existed until you pointed it out to me. And once I saw it, I was like, how have I never seen this before?
It's so good.
It's
so good. It's like an era of comedy that doesn't happen anymore. And it was just so good, so pure. Fucking Kurt Russell, Martin Short, just the most delightful pairing in it's great. Kurt Russell plays like a one-eyed ship captain, like basically not a pirate captain, but like it's modern day, just a boat captain. But he's got like one eye. He's like a war veteran from the Navy and all this shit. And he's the funny man. He's the funny man. He's the character in this movie. And then Martin Short
is the straight man.
Notable, hilarious character actor and ridiculous personality is the straight man. And it is the funniest shit. And it is such a fantastic movie. I fucking love that era of movies.
You want to talk about, an era of comedy that just doesn't happen anymore? I recently, like last week, rewatched Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh,
fucking!
You could not do that movie today.
It's as good. It's as good as an adult as I remember it being as a child. It's fucking fantastic. But yeah, there's so much stuff in that movie, especially when Robin Williams goes to his gay cousin or his brother's place, and his brother they're doing the montage where they're trying on different outfits.
Matchmaker,
make me a match. Yeah, exactly. Shit like that. There's so much in there that I imagine everyone would get so worked up about today, but back then it was just funny. It wasn't making fun of anybody. It was just funny.
Because Robin Williams was a comedic genius.
Yep.
And there will never be any. That era is gone.
Yeah.
There will never be another Robin Williams type comedian ever.
Well, we're gonna have to loop back to that eventually. We're gonna have society is gonna have to cycle back around to the point where we're no longer so brittle and fragile that we can't laugh at ourselves. And yeah, I don't know if that'll happen in our lifetime. But it was a great era while it lasted, and those comedies age. They age well, not like fucking Minions. We're on what, Minions like 4 or 5 right now. Everybody wants to go and see Minions 5. Nobody's fucking wanting to go back and rewatch Minions 2. Like nobody. That's not how that works. It's all disposable comedy these days.
I will be 100% honest. Last comedy movie I saw that I enjoyed and actually laughed at, and I was slightly drunk when I watched it, was the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. And I went back and watched it sober, and I don't know why I laughed. But
You're right. Actually, you know, the reboot had some charming moments in it. But that's largely because it was self-aware. Like Matt.
Yeah. Kevin
They-
Smith is very good at being self-aware with how bad his comedy is.
Right, and that's why a lot of it works. Even if I don't care for all of his movies, I acknowledge that. Yeah, as a writer, he is self-aware of his strengths and shortcomings, and utilizes them appropriately.
Steph wanted me to share that she has worked with the costume designer who designed Captain Ron.
Oh my god, that is great.
Cool. Oh, good old cool stuff. Yeah.
I definitely recommend you watch that movie, Zero.
I will see if I can find it on one of the multiple streaming platforms that I have.
I don't remember where Steph and I found it.
I guarantee you, if I log on to Amazon, it's there.
Yeah, there's a
be on
VH
Amazon.
there's a VHS floating around somewhere.
It'll be on Amazon or YouTube or anywhere if you want to pay for it. I'm wondering if it's anywhere for free.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it is. I can definitely say
That
yes.
says it's on Amazon Prime.
Okay, well that's good. That's free.
Oh sweet, yeah. We've all got that.
Yes, because Bezos deserves all of my money.
Well, Twitch drops. And
Yeah,
I let my parents use the account because my mom loves buying shit for my nieces and nephew. So she gets free shipping. Good times. Well, the last thing that we had to talk about was the California's right to repair law is leaving a carve-out for video game consoles. So you can take your iPhone anywhere and get it fixed now, but if you want your PS5 fixed, you gotta send it back to Sony.
Yeah, I'm mad about that. Not gonna lie. I found that real scummy.
Yeah, it is. This
Real
was
disappointed that carve out was allowed. And I mean, I hate that it's so fucking predictable. Why? Oh, they're scared of piracy. Like, it's just, I'm so sick of this fucking boogeyman mentality that you see all the time when it comes to like how they legislate technology. That's fucking bullshit.
It's I just remember when we talked about the right to repair and John Deere.
Mm-hmm.
That was a while back, but yeah.
I mean, I gotta say, I find it kind of absurd that video game consoles had enough political sway to get that carve out when, you know, the cell phone companies and others couldn't.
I think it's because the cell phone companies are, especially Apple, are under a lot more scrutiny than Sony and Xbox.
Microsoft? Microsoft is probably under some pretty intense scrutiny.
Microsoft definitely is, but how many people outside of the gaming community equate Xbox with Microsoft? For us, it's a no-brainer. But they have two different names, two different things.
I will say this, and this it kind of leans into that because we're talking about Apple, kinda. Um, the new iPhone was just announced,
Yeah, the
and
iPhone 15.
one of my friends immediately messaged me and said, "You're gonna be able to play, or video game developers are gonna start uh, designing their games specifically for phones." No, they're not. Are you fucking retard?
We
No,
already
they're
have
not.
that. We already have it. We've had
Yeah,
that for
wait.
decades. It's
I
the
mean,
mobile gaming
yeah,
market.
they already do. Like, what do you mean?
Oh no,
That's-
he's talking like
You
the
think?
games.
Yeah, you think
He's
ActiBliz is
what?
going to start designing Diablo 5 for a phone and it'll get ported? You
Like-
think everything's going to be Diablo Immortal from now on?
It's going to be ported to. That's exactly what it is.
Right. Okay. So everything is going to start on the phone and then it's going to be ported over to PC. Yeah, I can see that happening.
Correct.
Exactly. Never.
Yeah, right.
yeah, that's just real dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, if we could
I
ever,
was like, I don't think so. I mean, come on, iPhone just now got Type C chargers.
oh my God, yeah. So I posted
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you saw what I posted in tech was, the $150 iPhone C cable, which is fucking
Yeah, the
hilarious.
Thunderbolt cable.
The other thing, but I posted there, I was like, you can find the same goddamn thing, same features, same everything on Amazon for like $35. I saw a picture that someone took today of one of those $35 cables plugged into their new iPhone 15, and the iPhone 15 informed them that non-Apple compliant cable detected. Please use an Apple compliant cable. The little notification came up on their screen.
Are you shitting me?
I mean, it's entirely possible that the hardware is looking for like noted terrible third-party garbage and it doesn't want you to use that with the phone. I can see that. But if you actually are required to use an Apple iPhone C cable, an Apple USB-C iPhone cable, that would be fucking nuts. I don't think they could.
Well,
I don't
I
think they
think
can get
what
away with that.
you posted was a Thunderbolt cable.
No, yes, it's a Thunderbolt 4 USB 3C.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Okay.
made.
That's so dumb. Just dumb.
What's dumb is that they made their USB 3.0 port, their USB-C port on the iPhone, the base model of the iPhone, only USB 2.0 compliant. So you don't charge as fast and you can't transfer data as fast. I don't think a lot of people transfer a lot of data, but yeah, the charging thing. So if you want full USB 3.0 speeds on your Type-C port, you need to buy the iPhone 15 Pro. That is
because that's
so
what
pissy.
I want to say. That's scummy.
It's
That
so
is-
pissy.
It is so scummy. Buddy of mine, guy who's the best man at my wedding, he every time iPhone announces a new phone, or Apple announces a new phone, he has to buy it every single year.
He's a slave to
And-
trends.
I told him, I said, dude, you've got to stop that. He said, well, you just downgraded your iPhone to a Samsung. Yeah, because it saved me $15 a month on my cell phone bill.
Downgraded.
Because Apple, that's what he said. So, but I told him, I said, that saved me $15 a month on my cell phone bill by me going to a Samsung, which honestly, my Samsung can do just as much, if not more, than your iPhone.
My whole thought about every single person buying the new iPhone year after year as it comes out, it's the equivalent of one of us completely rebuilding a rig each year just so that we can have like the top tier hardware on it. Like, yeah, no, I understand your computer is going to be a beast and you're going to sink thousands of dollars into it, but there's no reason to do that. There's no practical point. You're not a social media influencer. It's not appearing behind you on stream. You have nothing to prove to anybody. You're using your phone to talk to people, to text people, to browse the internet, to do email or whatever else that you want to do. It's the same thing with your computer. I'm using it to play a fucking game. I've got hardware on here that's like almost 7 years old, 8 years old, and it fucking rocks.
Yeah. I just put that
Yeah.
AIO in my computer. I just put it in, and I foresee me not having to swap this computer out for quite some time.
Which one did you get?
I did the Cooler Master.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the Cooler Master, it was the 360.
Yeah, so you got 3
So
fans?
yeah, I got 3 fans, and buddy, it hums. I stay at 33 degrees under load all the time.
Yeah, I got the
So
same. I got the same. I don't have a Cool Master, but I got a radiator that's 3 fans long. It's got a push pull on it, and it rocks. I don't think my CPU has gotten above 50 degrees for 4 years.
yeah, I ran the day after I got it and got everything set up. I hooked up Destiny, ran it, just said do the preferred settings, and then went, no, those aren't good enough. Ultra, and did not break 40 degrees. So I was pleasantly surprised
Something.
because I tried that. I tried that with an air cooler, and it sounded like my computer was going to take off.
Yeah, I bet. There's actually something that I got introduced to. It's basically high-end computer porn, where it's a 5-minute video or 4-minute video of just a guy, no talking or anything. It's just visual assembly of a high-end rig. And there's one that I've just drooled over where a guy is building something with Jesus Christ, 24 fans in the case, and 2 radiators and 2 cooling loops and everything inside the graphics cards, the chipset, the RAM, and the CPU are all water cooled. And gosh, it looks sexy.
Yeah,
I don't actually want to do that. Look, custom loops are way too much fucking work. I don't want to do that, but I like looking at them.
Yeah, the one that I absolutely fell in love with watching was just this. It was one of those ones where it was just the guy was building it, and it was all shiny, and it was like all like shiny metal pieces, and it was all really brilliant. And then he did the custom loop with the tubing and bent the tubing right there and everything. And I was like,
Yep.
yes, all of this.
And
Only problem I had with it is it had too much fucking RGB.
I was just going to say,
way too much.
The thing about the videos that I'm into is that these people they don't seem to use RGB terribly much. They seem to use the color that comes with the boards and the blocks and everything, and they make it work really nice. They do, different sheaths on cables for cable management and stuff. It looks really nice,
Yeah.
but yeah, you don't need RGB to build a fucking sexy beast of a machine.
Mine, the liquid or the AIO that I got has just regular old, nothing fancy RGB on it. And I've got it all, my board controls all of that. And I was like, okay, you know what? It looks cool. I'm just going to turn it off because I don't need it.
Either that, or if you got a good controller, like pick a solid color.
Yeah. And my cousin looked at me and he said, we can get you, like, we can really go crazy with this if you want to. And we can get you the Corsair. We can get all the Corsair fans. And I was like, I don't need all of that. I don't want a Corsair cooler. I have not read or seen good things about Corsair coolers.
I've poisoned you against Corsair, I think.
Well, when I was looking for one, I did a comparison. I did NZXT, Cooler Master, and the Corsair. And the Corsair had a 4-star, it's like a 4.5 star rating. And it was like 4.7 for the Cooler Master and 4.7 for the NZXT. The difference in price between the NZXT and the Cooler Master was like $30. So I went with the Cooler Master because it was a little bit more expensive. And
yeah,
and which surprised me because I thought the NZXT would be more expensive, but no.
Man.
So,
yeah.
Worth it though. Good investment.
Definitely.
I'm glad I'll let you guys talk me into it.
Hey, yeah, I hope it works for you for at least 5 years. I feel like that's a good amount of time to get out of an AIO.
Got a 3-year warranty on it, so
yeah, that's another thing. Course, when my Corsair, basically, the difficulty with my Corsair AIO The first one that I had was that one burst, so that was an issue. The second one developed an air bubble in it, and both times when I contacted Corsair, I was just like, "Hey, this thing's under warranty," and they tried to weasel out of it, and I got into it was a whole prolonged thing that I did not enjoy going through, but they asked for it. It's like, yes, I do have spare time in my life to make your job a living hell. But anyway. Yeah, so that was, I mean, yeah, we're basically out of topics. I feel like there was something else that came up that I wanted to bring up. I'm sure I'll remember it in like an hour when I'm going to bed.
It always happens like that. Always.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, we're going to call the podcast here and then call about, or I'm going to talk about Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Baldur's Gate. So, all right, thank you everybody for coming along. Same time, same place next week. Penis, fuck Putin, fuck Winnie the Pooh. Fuck Linus Tech Tips, fuck Nestle. Oh, and we haven't done This Week in Twitter for so long, but I promise next week we'll do something about This Week in Twitter. Because it's never ending. Just never stops.